Hey guys, how you doing? All right, here we go. Part 2 of 10 terrible movies to avoid. Just to recap what we did in part 1. First up was Jupiter Ascending. Then we did The Avengers, which was the 1998 movie, not the much more recent one that was actually really fantastic. Then we did Tomcats. Then we did The Happening. And then we did Food Fight. Okay, so that's caught us up. Part 2, coming at ya. We are starting with a movie that comes from 2003. This movie really annoyed the hell out of me. I wanted to like it in the beginning, I really did. But, yeah, just really pissed me off. It's called The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And god damn it, really pisses me off. I can't stand this movie. Okay, so what is this movie? Who's in this movie? Let's start with that. Okay, starting off, we have Sean Connery. Sean Connery, here we go again. He is Alan Quatermain. You have Shane West, who plays Tom Sawyer. You have Peta Wilson. She plays Mina Harker. You have Nasiruddin Shah, who plays Captain Nemo. Please excuse me if I got that wrong, but I think I got that right. Nasiruddin, that sounds right. Jason Fleming is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. One side note here, I do believe that the actual way to say his name is not Jekyll, it's Jekyll. I believe that that's actually the way the name is supposed to be said, but we're just going to say Dr. Jekyll and Mr. You know what? Fuck that. We'll just say Dr. J and Mr. H. There we go. Stuart Townsend is Dorian Gray, and Tony Curran is Rodney Skinner, the Invisible Man. What is this movie? This movie is very similar, I think, in idea to, like, The Avengers. It really is. You got a group of people who all have, well, maybe not all of them have superpowers, but they're at least the best at what they do. But some of them do have superpowers, and everybody has very different backgrounds. They all come from different places. They all have these abilities or powers or whatever for different reasons and all this shit. Who is the main bad guy? He's played by Richard Roxburgh, and believe me, you're going to see a little bit more of him later on, too, in my review. Good actor, but man. He finds movies to piss me off. He plays M in the movie M, or Moriarty. As in, yes, Sherlock Holmes's Moriarty. It's not a terrible idea for what they did. Let's take all of these these very famous characters from the 1800s and put them all together in one big old movie, and that makes them the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Not entirely sure why Tom Sawyer would be considered extraordinary, but whatever. I guess he was. Honestly, this movie, it comes down to, the reason why I can't stand this damn movie is because it's just the writing. It really is. It's terrible. The dialogue is terrible. The story is ridiculous. They're trying to, Moriarty, is trying to take basically DNA from all of these great, fantastic, incredible people. Not with Captain Nemo. He's trying to use his technology, because Captain Nemo has a submarine that is roughly the size of a city. Really highly advanced for something that would be around in the 1800s. In fact, it's a little comically advanced. But yeah, he's trying to take all these people's like super stuff, gifts, technology, what have you, and make an army of super strong vampire, invisible ninja assassin Hulk monsters. I don't know. It's retarded. It really is. I don't like this movie. I don't like it at all. I'm sure there's plenty of you out there that do like this movie, and that's fine. You know what? Hey, we don't have to agree on everything, but this movie just pisses me off, and I really don't want to talk about it anymore. So let's move on. Up next is this one comes from 1989. I'm just gonna dive right in. Fuck it. It's called The Wizard, and I'm sure those of you that are from that era like me, you know exactly what The Wizard is. It's the Fred Savage movie about video games. Essentially, this is the first time you're going to get to see Super Mario 3. That's the whole thing of the movie. That was it. Nobody gave a shit about the rest of the film. It was just, we want to see the footage of Super Mario 3. At that time, let's see, it was 89, so I was like 11. Yeah. So, yeah, that's all I cared about. I just want to play video games and talk to girls, play video games, and that kind of crap. That's what it was. So that's what it is. That's what the movie is. The movie, okay, so you got Fred Savage. Luke Edwards is his younger brother who may be autistic. It's something like that. I mean, they really play it up in this movie. Then you got Jenny Lewis. And Fred Savage, I guess he's his brother. Luke Edwards, I guess he's his little brother. Their family is Christian Slater and Beau Bridges. And Luke Edwards, their mom's dead. He remembers something about going to the big dinosaur, like it's a statue of a dinosaur thing here in California. I don't know where the hell it is, but I think they had it in the Pee-wee's Playhouse movie, or Big Top Pee-wee or something like that. I think they did. I don't know. They just decide to, you know what, we're just going to hitchhike to California from wherever the fuck we're from. Probably Ohio or some shit like that. I don't know. But they just decide, yeah, we're going to California. This is one thing that absolutely just, oh, God, drives me livid. I don't remember the name of the characters, just, you know, the actors, because I get all that information and all that shit. But Luke Edwards only says California in the movie. That's all I remember him ever saying. California. Just like that. Imagine hearing that shit for an hour and a half. Ah. Suppressing an aneurysm right now. This movie is ridiculous. It's stupid. They're like, you know, at the time, I guess Fred Savage might have been, 12? Something like that. About my age. And they just traveled cross country so this kid can go to California. And on the way there, they decide, hey, you know what? We need to get money. So we'll enter a video game competition. And Luke Edwards' character is some prodigy. In the 80s, people did not understand, again, I'm assuming he has autism in the movie, but people did not understand autism. So what they felt was that, much like with Rain Man and shit like that, they felt like, well, if you're autistic, that means that, you know, you're really, really slow. But you have some superhuman abilities with, you know, counting or electronics or some shit like that. You know, with Rain Man, it was like he could count cards without even thinking about it. I mean, he was just like, yeah, I got it. This kid is a prodigy at video games. He just opens up and starts beating the shit out of Super Mario 3, a video game that nobody had ever seen before. He just owns it. I was like, nah, I don't buy it. Pretty stupid. It's a bad movie. It's a kid movie, but it's also just really bad. And by the way, if you ever want to see, especially like in the 80s and 90s, you know, when they want adults to pretend like they're playing video games, Beau Bridges does a fantastic job of showing you how you do it in the 80s and 90s. Because of course they're playing it on an NES. He's playing a Nintendo. And I don't even know what the hell he was playing, but I'm going to use my phone right here real quick. and this is the controller, and he's just like, oh my gosh, and I gotta watch out for the zombies over there, and holy crap, there's a star falling down, and I gotta get that gun, look at the power up, blah, blah. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing, Bo? Calm down. Calm down. Wow. Anywho, moving on. Oh yeah. Okay, so now we're going to 2004. And this movie. We're basically going right back to where we were with The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And it's funny because that one came out in 03. This one comes out in 04. This is Van Helsing. I hate this fucking movie just as much as I hate The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And it's basically for the same reason. They try to do the same thing where they get all the movie monsters together and everything's, let's have all of them all in one spot together. And, that'll work, right? It can. It can work. That doesn't mean that it will work. This one, amazingly enough, has even worse writing. It is horrendous. So you got Hugh Jackman, and he is the aforementioned Van Helsing. You got Kate Beckinsale, who, I don't know what the hell her name is in the movie, but she's the hot chick. David Wenham he's like a priest who is Van Helsing's second in command guy, and he's an idiot. The character, not David Wenham. The character is an idiot, and he's there literally just for comedic relief. That's it. And you got Richard Roxburgh again. Oh boy, you're back. How you doing, Rich? He's Dracula. So, it's essentially, Van Helsing versus Dracula. That's all it is. They did come up with a very interesting way to eliminate Dracula in this. Oh, by the way, Frankenstein's monster is in this too, and I'm just gonna throw this out there really quickly. The prosthetics that they put on him actually look pretty good. It's interesting. It's a different kind of look to what Frankenstein's monster would look like. And no, the monster itself is not called Frankenstein. That's the doctor. But yeah, the monster, he looked pretty good. But anyways, back to what I was saying. So what's up with Dracula and Van Helsing? I don't know, it's written down in some super secret lore, super secret text that there is only one 100% surefire way to get rid of Dracula. It's very coincidental because that's exactly what happens for Van Helsing. He can only be stopped by a werewolf. And I thought to myself, why? Vampires are stronger than werewolves. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why the fuck could why would a werewolf beat Dracula? Like the king of all vampires. What? That's fucking retarded. But yeah, Kate Beckinsale's brother gets turned into a werewolf. He attacks Van Helsing, I think, at one point after they've already killed him. Van Helsing turns into a werewolf, and then he fights Dracula, and Dracula turns into a giant bat monster-y thing, which actually looked pretty good. I liked it. I think that, the CGI looks like garbage, of course, but the idea of it as him being a giant bat monster versus a giant wolf monster guy, I like that. I'm with that. But the fact that just, werewolf beats vampire, I was always like, that's retarded. That should not be, because vampires are stronger than werewolves. Vampires are immortal. They only get stronger as they get older. Werewolves are not immortal. Why the fuck could he beat Dracula? I don't know. It's stupid. It's a dumbass movie. Well, what are you gonna do? Okay, next. From 2000. This is a lot of people have talked about this one. Fuck it, dive right in. From 2000, as I said, it is Battlefield Earth. This movie is retarded, and there's quite a good there's a few reasons why it's retarded. Okay, so you've got John Travolta, you've got Forrest Whitaker, got Barry Pepper, Sabine Carcenti, I believe that's how you say her name, and Kim Coates. And I love Kim Coates. I recently got very much into Sons of Anarchy, and he's a major character on it. I don't have any problem with any of those actors. I like all those actors. I don't really know anything that Sabine Carcenti has been in, so but she seemed okay. It's just the story is retarded yet again. It all comes down to story, and this is all basically this is all like John Travolta's ode to Scientology. That's what this movie is. It really is. That's what he's going for with it. Barry Pepper is the lead protagonist. John Travolta is the lead antagonist. Forrest Whitaker plays his lackey, essentially. Kim Coates plays Barry Pepper's best friend, and Sabine Carcenti is his girlfriend? I don't know. Whatever. It's sometime in the future. I don't know when, but I can't remember because it's been a little while since I've seen it. But it's sometime in the future. The aliens, the Cyclos, come down to Earth. They basically destroy all of our military in, I think in the movie they say it about 9 minutes flat. And I was like, wow. Are we really that helpless? Because that seems a little much. I think we would do a little better in a fight than that. But that's what happens. So then it's set, years later. People are basically living like fucking cave people. Yeah. The whole point of these Cyclo aliens being here is that they want to mine gold. That's it. They just want gold. Gold is the universal currency, I guess, which, you know what? I'll go with that. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. That's fine because, as a metal, it kind of sucks in comparison to other metals, but at least it's worth something as a currency, so that's fine. Yeah, so they, the cave people, Barry Pepper and company, some of them get captured by Cyclos, and when they do, they're forced to mine, or no, they're not. They're not forced to mine. They're just kind of stuck in pens. They just throw the people in pens. John Travolta gets the brilliant idea that, hey, you know what? I'm going to teach these. They call them man animals, which I thought, stop trying, John. Stop it. They're going to teach them to use mining equipment so they can mine and get gold ore for these Cyclos so they don't have to do it themselves because Cyclos are lazy, I guess. I don't know. And I don't know how long it is in the future, but apparently these aliens believe that man animals, our level of intelligence has dwindled down to that of a single-celled organism. They really see us as being retarded, despite the fact that in this movie, there is a point where they teach these cave people, that's what they are, they teach them how to fly Harrier jets in less than a week. What? I'm willing to go along with the fact that people, humanity as a species in this movie, we hadn't really become retarded. But how the fuck can you teach somebody who's never even seen machinery before, how can you teach them to fly a Harrier jet in less than a week's time? I got to imagine there's a little more to it than just, hey, this is forward, this is back, up, down, guns. There's got to be more to it than that, right? For any of you that are watching my videos, if you happen to be in the military, particularly if you're in the Air Force or if you fly jets, please let me know, because I have to believe that there's more to it, and you can't just pick up learning how to fly a fucking Harrier jet in less than a week. I can't believe that that's actually possible. Whatever. The biggest problem with this movie, aside from that ridiculousness, is the fact that John Travolta is very bad at being a bad guy. He's not very good at it. When he plays a good guy, he's fantastic. He really is. He's very good at being a good guy. He has that personality. He has that smile. He has that face. You want to like him. He's very good at being a good guy. Did you ever see that movie Phenomenon? He was a good guy, and he was fantastic in it. He was so lovable. I think the character's name was George in it. He was fucking lovable like crazy. He had lovable pouring out of his ears. He was so fantastic. The only time that I've ever seen him be good as a bad guy was in the Punisher movie with Thomas Jane. And there, yes, he was a bad guy, but he was predominantly, above that, he was a grieving father. He did fantastic in that. He does shit in this, in Battlefield Earth. This is not his finest work. He overdoes everything in this. It's slightly painful to watch. I mean, like, you know, your eyes and your head are at the same time are going to get this twinge where you're just like, stop, can't take it. You know? So, I'm going to move on because that's enough of that shit. And last, and in no way whatsoever least. Oh, God. Okay, this one comes from 1997. There's two reasons why I picked this. A, I hate this movie. And B, even if this movie didn't exist, I hate everything about this franchise. This is 1997's Batman and Robin. And most of you out there, you should know by now, I hate Batman. I hate DC Comics. They don't know how to write comic book characters well. I'm sorry, but they don't. The character themselves, they don't have character. They just are their job. Batman is just Batman. He's not really Bruce Wayne. He's just Batman. You go with Superman. He's not really Clark Kent. He's just Superman. He doesn't have a life really beyond that, just like with Batman. Batman is always Batman no matter what he does, and even when it's fucking George Clooney playing him. Speaking of which, who's in this movie? Okay, let's look at that. Like I said, George Clooney. He is Batman. Chris O'Donnell is Robin. Alicia Silverstone is Batgirl or Batwoman, however you want to put it. I would personally say Batwoman, but Alicia Silverstone looks like a 14-year-old in this, so it wouldn't be terrible if you said Batgirl. Pat Hingle comes back as Commissioner Gordon. Michael Goff, I believe that's how you say his name, is Alfred yet again. Now the bad guys. Two main bad guys. First you got Uma Thurman, who's playing Poison Ivy. Then, of course, the real reason that you came to see this movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger is Mr. Freeze. And he has the ever so beautiful, ever so sexy, ever so wonderful Vivica Fox as his, I don't know, she's just on his team. She wears like all white. He's Mr. Freeze, so you know, all he does is freezing shit. She just wears all this white crap, and she's like in love with him in the movie, but it's not that he ignores her. He's just like, he's grieving for his wife, but he feels like he cannot move beyond that. Gee, that sounds kind of similar. Kind of like what Batman does on a fucking daily basis, bitching about his parents. This movie was really bad, and as I have stated, I hate Batman. But the Michael Keaton movies were actually very good. He was really good as Batman. And the movie itself, the first one and even the second one, you know, I like Batman Returns. They weren't bad at all. They were good movies. The second one kind of got silly and shit, but at least the first one was like, it was dark, it was gritty. The car looked good. This one, Batman and Robin, is where it really just kind of, everything went downhill for this franchise. Everything is overacted, or overstated, or overplayed, or overcolored, or oversaturated, or over this or over that. Everything is. Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy, she's essentially, I mean, it's almost like you're watching Eartha Kitt play Catwoman with that level of campiness to her, you know? The campiness is just over the top. Arnold Schwarzenegger, if he has more than one line in this that doesn't have some kind of fucking ice pun in it, it's amazing. Because I'm pretty sure everything he says has something to do with ice in it at some point. Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl, whatever. She's actually Alfred's niece, grand niece or something like that, which was retarded because she's supposed to be related to Commissioner Gordon, but she wasn't. She called him her uncle, so she's his niece or something like that. And Chris O'Donnell, you know, my parents died, and you know, I really want to beat up all the bad guys that you know that I don't like. And of course, Batman says the exact same thing. This movie is ridiculous. It's really stupid. One of the great things about the Michael Keaton Batman movies was, this is a pet peeve, but one of the great things was the car. The car was badass. It really was. It was low-key. It was underplayed. Not here. Here, it's a fucking neon mess. It's disgusting. And that's kind of a... It just explains how the entire movie is. It's all a big, bright, shiny, neon piece of shit. That's what it is. The plot is ridiculous. The story is ridiculous. The acting is ridiculous. The dialogue is ridiculous. Everything in this is terrible. And again, I know I hate Batman. I know that. But that's not really... It doesn't really have a bearing on my feelings here. It's that bad. Ugh. Anyways, wow. That's going to wrap it up. That's part 2. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.